What's up, everybody? It's your good friend Lukie, and I'm back with a new vlog. This week, I'm going to handle or go over Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. It is the home of the 2025 Open Championship and also held the Open Championship in 2019, which that was a long time ago, but because of the pandemic, we lost basically 2 years, and it really doesn't feel as long ago as it is, which I'm not sure why, but it was a good long time ago. This is the hardest golf course I have ever played. No bones about it. It's the one of the classic pick up your scorecard, crinkle it up, don't worry about score, just worry about surviving. Let's check out the intro and then I'll kind of talk for way too long. So Royal Portrush to me was my first experience ever in playing penalizing link style golf. There's courses, I think that the name of the course is Royal Lytham, and some of the courses in England I've heard are just brutally punishing. And I feel like Royal Portrush embodies that style of the Open Championship. When I grew up watching the Open Championship, sure, you hear about Carnoustie being so tough and having the moats and all this stuff. But you also think about the quirk, like at St. Andrew's Old Course. You have hitting over a hotel. At Royal Troon, you're hitting to a postage stamp green. There's novelty and cool historical monuments that golf courses in America don't often have, or if they have it, we overlook it. So, because of that, we now are, entering into this phase, or I'm entering this phase of globetrotting and going to these great golf courses. And Royal Portrush, definitely one of the best courses I've ever played. Wow, what a great review. Every course is great. Every course is good because I'm scared to have opinions. I'm sure that's what you're thinking. But this is a course where Royal County Down, maybe the weather was better, maybe everything was a little bit more pleasant. But even though it's incredibly difficult, it has a little bit of a kind spirit to it. At least I feel. And maybe it's the way I played because perception of golf course architecture and courses often come down to how you play. People play really hard courses well. They go, "Oh, I love that course." And then they have a bad round. They go, "Oh, maybe I see why people hate it." Right? Oftentimes, the round we have goes into the perception we have of the course. For me, I didn't play well at Royal Portrush, but I think that that was common. Everyone I played with played bad for that day. And I'm sorry to tell on the people I played with. And I'm sure most people that played the course really struggled. That being said, it doesn't take away from what it is as a golf course. It was just a course where there's been a few of these coming up in a few weeks. You're going to see me play Prestwick, and Prestwick's kind of the same thing. I was hitting 3 woods into par fours at some points in the course. And though it might not be fair, golf starts to get very, very frustrating where you're playing holes where you're not able to get on the green in two on par fours. It's just feeling like the course is just beating you up. And that's why I always tell people play the right tees. But in Europe, they have tees that kind of jump, right? So if I play the forward tees, I'm hitting wedges into every green. That doesn't seem like the spirit of the game. But then I'm playing the next tee box back at Portrush and I'm hitting 4 irons into greens, which is a club at the time I couldn't hit all that well. So it's definitely a style of golf you have to learn how to play. And it's one of the hardest golf courses of that style to play. So I think that this is just a temperament test. It's also beautiful and it's also very interesting. To me, it's very reminiscent of the great championship style golf courses I've played, like Pinehurst number 2. It really felt like Pinehurst number 2. Though it had a couple of holes I remember, like the hill and things going down, the five that I think it's 5 or 6 that you can drive. A lot of the holes blend together, but are very demanding specific tests that are great golf holes. And the way it physically exhausted my brain and my emotions was similar to that. Price point a lot, need a lot of golf balls. There's no houses per se that you can hit. But with a lot of link style golf courses, thick rough means get a caddy or keep good eyesight on the ball because you can lose a lot of golf balls that are still in play because slight misses at this course turn into big, big mistakes. Be sure to walk in the right direction, that's for sure. Let's get into my commentary of I think an above average amount of footage for this one. You're going to see me hit some golf shots, so I'm sure you're ecstatic to see that. And then I'll catch you at the end. Let me go into exquisite detail and show why Royal Portrush was so hard for me. First off, the splendid and natural beauty of this course jumps off the page. It's kind of like a hybrid between Port Stewart and Royal County Down. Probably not quite as pretty as Royal County Down, but very similar to Port Stewart, but harder in my opinion than both, though the weather could have played a factor. When you look at some of these holes in the architectural design, you just have to think they must have made this course for a pro. This is not meant for someone of my skill set. And that makes sense because the Open Championship is held here. If you look, there's a big old pop bunker just sitting right there, tons of slope. You're probably watching and going, oh, I'd do great. I believe this is the hole where if you hit that slice I love to hit, you go out of bounds, so you get to hit another ball, and then you play it there. One of the cooler holes, I was told Brooks Koepka hit a 3-wood over this green. Over the green is out of bounds. So though most of us mere mortals love to drop a ball and then call it one stroke, or even if we play ethically, we hit another one, the margin for error at this course is ridiculously slim. And I can't show you, it's like a 280 or some odd par 4 downhill, and literally 3 feet off of this green is out of bounds. So it's not just the tee shot. I laid back to here, probably hit a driver, in my distance. As you can tell, the weather isn't as bad as Port Stewart because I'm able to give you a couple of golf shots, but it's also not Palm Springs, California in February. The green is hidden, and this will tell you kind of how hard this course is. The green is tucked behind those slopes and that bunker, so you're hitting into basically an inanimate object that you have no clue what you're doing. When you play a nice golf course, be sure to pick up after yourself. It's just real gentlemanly and gentlewomanly. That is the hole right there, and look at the beautiful backdrop. It really does look splendid, but at the same time, once again, very much precision. To me, this course was harder than Pinehurst number 2, which was the previous hardest golf course I had ever played. Could it be the weather? Could it be that I'm not truly used to playing links golf at this period of time? I'm not sure, but this course, it made a ton of sense why this course is going to be the host of the 2025 Open Championship, which some people will go, that happened so long ago, because they will watch this archivally, hopefully, and some will say, hey, that's coming up. So that's some good context for you. Once again, really dramatic slopes. I hit this approach into this green, probably thought it was good, probably was off by about 5 yards, and then you have just a really crazy pitch. If you love the short game like I love it, it's fun. If you love getting on greens in 2, it's not as fun because it was hard for me to get on greens in 2. Now, this is the Royal County Down effect. You just have some amazing and splendid beauty when you're walking through this property, but rather than sand dunes, you've got wind-exposed lands for most of it. Here are some of the sand dunes where it feels more like Port Stewart than Royal County Down, and it feels more like a professional boxer's right hand than a golf course at times, because everything is about execution. I think that's the best part of thinking of this course. If you play this course, and this is part of the new links that I was told that was added recently for the 2019, so it's a new stretch of land. If you play this course for score, and you're not like a really, really dialed in golfer, you're just asking to be depressed. Like, this is a course that for, I think, most American golfers, playing it in the wind and playing it from tees that you would expect to play from is one of the hardest tests of golf, because there's a lot of things about this course you just don't grow up playing. Spiritually, you're not as used to playing, and it is difficult. I don't even remember this type of shot, but I remember playing this course. I was hitting, especially in Europe, I was hitting a lot of knockdown wedge shots that I don't typically play, and that's just strictly because of the wind. Here you can see how when you hit that back 9 stretch, it really opens up, and it kind of gets very, very deceptive, I would say, where you can get lost. Now, you don't get St. Andrews lost. There's always a rhyme or a reason to the season. This is a par 3. I believe this was my second bunker shot because it had a bad lie. That actually went out really good. So exhausting that I don't even show you where that ball went. That's how exhausting this round of golf was. The course has a lot of false fronts, right? And it really punishes you if you can't hit your approaches where you want to go. You also have some shots on this course, which every American hates, which is hitting over a hill. But this, unlike Royal County Down, it's super narrow. I hit into this bunker, tried to oh yeah, I can get it up. And as you can see, I hit the cheesy. Yes, indeed. The cheesy. Yes, it's the cheesy. And that just means that the ball went about 5 feet. We're going to do this in real time to show that I'm an ethical human being. And as you can tell, super exhausted. I think I got a Del Monte windbreaker on. Pick up the golf bag. Here we go. The heavens that are spitting on me. And it's not going to take very long, guys. I'm sorry for anyone that got motion sickness, but that took all of about 5 seconds to walk up to my golf ball after topping that out of a bunker. Probably fluffed my lie because I'm just a little frustrated. Now I'm sitting 3 in a fairway because I hit a bad drive, which I typically do. And I thought I hit that really well. I like it. And if I remember right, that was like 30 to 40 yards short. And that's just kind of the experience. Here are some of the approaches that you're hitting into. Just really, really grueling. Maybe the weather was a factor, but I also just think that I'm just not maybe good enough. Not to be super blunt, but that is possibly true. I'm pretty sure this is Calamity Hill or Calamity Corner, and that's a very hard par 3. I actually got it up there. I had a 5-footer and then missed the putt. I think maybe I'll show you that. Yeah, that's where I put it. I had about a 7-footer. Look at these slopes. You can just putt off of these greens, but unlike Pinehurst into a bunker, you putt into like hazards, and just the hardest course I ever played. And I think it's a good experience, right? But this is a experience of attitude and mentality as much as an experience in golf, right? Because you have to do that. And then I think I thinned this last chip right here, which is the most fitting end to this vlog. Yeah, I'm doing that thing. What happened? Must have been the club, right? Must have been the club. Can't be. Okay, so there we go. I wish you the best. I hope you're enjoying these new style of golf vlogs that I've been doing from my travels recently. If you like it, be sure to leave a comment. We always love feedback on how to get better. Trying to pump out 1 vlog a week, though it is expensive to have to fly to Europe and do all this stuff. We are biting the bullet to be the biggest and best influencers on a middle-class income. That is what we're trying to do. It's a noble ambition, but I think I can maybe accomplish it. Next week, what do you have in store? You've got Cairn Golf Links. I think it's Cairn Golf Links. Cairn is the name of the course. It is 5 hours from Dublin, Ireland. It is a favorite of the author Tom Coyne, and the No Laying Up guys went and played it. And it is what many refer to as a hidden gem. It's also a course that a lot of the caddies absolutely love. They talk about it as, oh, you went there. Kind of the way I find a lot of people talk about Sea Ranch. Maybe there's a comparison there. Anyways, next week is my Cairn Golf Links vlog. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. And, as always, subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And Royal Portrush, as long as you have a good attitude, you will love the course. But if you're playing for score, I mean, might as well get your favorite meal for that price. Because if you think that you're going to take on a course like Portrush and score well and are not open to the experience, well, you're just going to be miserable spending a whole lot of money and missing out on a true architectural achievement. I hope this best prepares everyone who is interested in this course, because it's a really good one. And to be honest, it's one of the only courses I've played in my life where I felt I just simply was not good enough to play the course.